and members of the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines, thank you for the opportunity to address the Senate Committee on Public Information. The purpose of journalism is to provide the people, the public, with the information they need to be free and self-governing. In the indirect initiative, it has been stated, access to information held by government is important to the exercise of the people's right to effective and reasonable participation at all levels of social, political, and economic decision-making. Thus, the right to information are enshrined among other basic rights within the Constitution. So journalism's purpose is no surprise, since as journalists, our loyalty is to the public, the man, the woman in the streets, the poor. As the fourth estate, we monitor those who are in power. And as a representative of the working journalists, we know how it feels to be at the receiving end of belligerent record-keeping government officials who most of the times test our patience when we access records for our news stories. The 15-day waiting periods alone are enough to kill a story or bury it in oblivion in the current news cycle, considering that every week we have news that erupts and takes away the focus of journalists. Sometimes when those in power are remiss or who have been remiss in their duties, we report their conduct, such as what has happened in the pork barrel scam, where ordinary citizens from all walks of life have signified their disgust on how some elected officials have squandered and misused government money. But most of the elected legislators implicated in the pork barrel scam do not even want to reply, even when asked by journalists their side. That's why the NUJP is against the right of reply in whatever form, be it a rider in the FOI bill or a bill of its own entirety. It is unconstitutional as it infringes on the freedom of the press. It is redundant as it's already being practiced by the journalism principle of fairness. We ask the other side before we publish a story. There are several functioning mechanisms employed by journalist organizations as well as journalist groups as recourse of politicians and other people harmed or afflicted by media, real or imagined. In a world of fast evolving technologies and with the proliferation of social media, pointing out errors of media and correcting them through these self-regulating mechanisms are already par for the course for any self-respecting media organization. Sadly, there are others in our land who not only do not want to reply anymore to issues raised by media, instead they kill directly the messengers of news, and kill they've had so much so that there is now a culture of impunity with these killings. 157 journalists to date have died since 1986. 17 alone have died during the Aquino administration. 3 weeks ago, the two latest killings happened within a span of a week. And we must not forget the Ampatuan or the Maguindanao massacre. That infamous incident, which is arguably a byproduct of an FOI-less reality, patronage politics, warlordism, private armies, graft and corruption, non-transparency, of which nothing has changed. The Maguindanao massacre has since become the poster boy for impunity, earning the sad distinction worldwide for the country as the International Day to End Impunity Worldwide. It is now reaching its 4th year in 2 months, and the wheels of justice are still moving at a glacial pace, while the victims' families continue to suffer. And so it is a costly thing to live in this present darkness without an FOI. This is not about media wanting more power. This is about ordinary people who can access genuine information which they can use to live free, meaningful, and enlightened lives. And so along with our colleagues in the Freedom Fund for Filipino Journalists, the PCIJ, CMFR, PPI, KBP, CCJD, and the different media organizations, and the Right to Know Right Now coalition, of which we are a member, the NUJP supports the indirect initiative of the FOI, and we hope that the Senate will adopt and pass it as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Alburo, for your statement. Together with the other organizations that comprise the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines. Any more questions, Senators, before we turn over the plenary to the Commission on Appointments?